Shavua Tov. I wanted to share some beautiful stories from the Baal Shem Tov. I'm sitting at my Malava Malka table, at the table for the meal that we have on Motzei Shabbos, after Shabbos, which was started from King David HaMelech. David HaMelech, every single Shabbos, would learn and learn and learn and not stop learning, because he knew that he was supposed to die on Shabbos, but that he would be protected from the angel of death as long as he kept learning Torah. The angel of death couldn't get to him unless he stopped. And when he'd learn all Shabbos. And when he made it to the end of Shabbos, he would celebrate and he'd have a meal. And that was the fourth meal. And we have a custom, it's called the Malava Malka, that we escort the Queen of Shabbos during this time and have this meal. And they say, it's taught from the holy Baal Shem Tov, that if you light 4 candles at your table in honor of King David, the fourth meal, then David HaMelech comes to visit you, almost like if he was Shpizin, will come to visit at the meal. And if you daven for things at this meal, that Hashem answers your tefillos, because if you daven for it, that David HaMelech will daven with you for this thing. It's an amazing, amazing thing. There's another thing that they teach, that at this meal, the Baal Shem Tov taught this about David HaMelech, about how he would come to the meal. If you light the 4 candles for King David. And he was also taught that it's a special segula to tell stories of great tzaddikim, especially the Baal Shem Tov, at this meal, and it's supposed to be something that brings blessing into the week. So I'm sitting here at my Malav Malka table, and I want to share a little bit of Torah with you. I want to share a story or two of the Baal Shem Tov. So here we go. So I'm going to tell you 2 short stories. The first story is a story about how the Baal Shem Tov, every single day, he would not go to sleep until he gave away every last penny that he had. In other words, he would make the money that he would make for that day. He would buy the things that he needed. And if he had any extra money, he would give it away. He knew that he could rely on Hashem. And every day, Hashem would take care of him. Now, this is obviously a very, very, very high madrega. It's not something for us to live exactly like this. We're supposed to be careful with our money. We save it. We try to use it in the right way. But in the real, most deep way, like the Baal Shem Tov, to really have such incredible, intense emunah, to know that no matter what day, when the day starts, there's a million possibilities and Hashem's going to take care of you in whatever way. This is the level that he lived on. And I think there's 2 beautiful lessons from this story. There's so many, but the 2 main ones. First is the bitachon, is to know that Hashem is always with you and he's always going to take care of you. And even if you don't see the way, if you're like, well, how would he do it? You don't have to see the way. We know that Hashem takes care of us and he's going to look out, and Hashem doesn't need a way that you see. Hashem can find a million ways to help you. And all we have to do is to trust and to do our best and to know that Hashem is looking out. Again, this is not a story for life. You should not be giving away every penny. But it's just a beautiful lesson about the Baal Shem Tov. The other thing is his love for giving. There was one time where they say that he couldn't fall asleep. He couldn't fall asleep, and he realized there was 1 coin on the windowsill that he still had, and he hadn't given away. And he's like, hey. And then he took care of it, and then he was able to go to sleep. His nature of giving, of taking care, of loving, and wanting to worry about every single Jew was incredible. It's just unbelievable, that way that he loved every Jew and wanted to give. 2 beautiful lessons. Finally, the other story I want to tell you about the Baal Shem Tov is a story about a town. The Baal Shem Tov saw in Shemaim that there was a town that had been decreed to be destroyed. And a terrible thing was going to happen to them. And he went up to Shemaim. He ascended, his neshama went up to Shemaim and started begging the heavenly court to reverse the decree. And he saw that there was nothing that he could do. And when he was up in Shemaim, he saw a beautiful, beautiful, almost like a shrine, a special room that had a light to it. And he went to see what it was. And he saw that there was a room that was dedicated to a simple Yid, a simple Jew. We didn't know a lot of Torah necessarily. He was a simple Jew What was it that he was doing, though, that he got this special, beautiful room that was dedicated for him in Shemaim? It was filled with light. This man did one thing. He would say Tehillim, the entire Tehillim 5 times a day. Wow, what an amazing thing to do, of course. But he was he was a simple Jew who did this special thing. When he came down, when the Baal Shem Tov came back to earth, as he brought his neshama back to everyday world, he went up to this man. He said, I have a question for you. In Shemaim, if you knew that giving up something, what you had in Shemaim, to save a village would save the Jews of that village, if you knew that would happen, would you give it up? And this Jew was so humble. He said, there's no way that I have such a special zchus that I have something in Shemaim that could save a town. But of course, if I knew that giving up my chelik and olam haba would save this town, I would give it in a second. And the Baal Shem Tov said that he saw in Shemaim the Gzeira cleared out in heaven, that the decree to destroy this town was cleared out in heaven. And it was saved because of the amazing willingness of the simple Jew to give up what he had for them. Now, I'm sure you're thinking what I'm thinking is, oh my gosh, did this special man lose everything that he had? And I want to point something else out to you. If he had this special home, this gift of Tehillim, and he gave it all up, so not only is he going to get the zchus of being willing to give up what he has in heaven, but even more than that, he was going to gain the chesed, the kindness of saving the entire town. And then you get the zchus of their children and their children's children and everyone who lives after it. The kindness that we do in this world, in life, when we take care of someone, we have no idea how much it could do. And being willing to give up something that you have for another has incredible power in Shemaim and has incredible effects. Hashem should bless you guys to be givers, to love Tehillim, to be able to trust in Hashem, and to learn from the great Baal Shem Tov.